Colorado Wolf Initiative is a classic example of ballot box biology. It directs Colorado Parks and Wildlife, or CPW, to use the best scientific data available to forcibly introduce gray wolves to Colorado. The impacts, economic, financial, ecological, social, and more, would be far-reaching and long-lasting. Here are the top 10 reasons why a forced wolf introduction is a bad idea. 1. Wolves are already there. Colorado Parks and Wildlife confirms an active pack of at least 6 wolves lives in the northwest part of the state. CPW officers investigated an elk kill site in December and confirmed it as wolf depredation. 2. Polling data shows 92% of Coloradans have a favorable opinion of CPW, the recognized professional authority that oversees wildlife management in Colorado. CPW has addressed the wolf issue several times over the years, including as recently as 2016, when a CPW commission resolution stated it, quote, opposed the intentional release of any wolves into Colorado. So if approved, the ballot initiative would go against Colorado's wildlife management professionals and force them to import and release wolves onto the Colorado landscape. 3. Despite decades of boots-on-the-ground experience and scientific research, CPW and its employees are legislatively mandated to not comment on the ballot initiative. Translation: the most informed voices of scientists, biologists, and wildlife managers about Colorado wildlife are not allowed to disseminate information about the consequences of the forced introduction. 4. Colorado Parks and Wildlife uses the best scientific data available in managing wildlife and has a wolf management plan in place for naturally migrating wolves, which is already happening. 5. The initiative will cost Colorado taxpayers millions upon millions of dollars. Proponents quote a Colorado legislative report that a forced wolf introduction would cost $340,000 in year 1 and $467,000 in year 2, but they do not look beyond that. An open records request of that report reveals costs double in year 3 to more than $800,000 and add up to nearly $6 million by year 8. And given real-life examples of continual growing costs from a forced wolf introduction in the Northern Rockies in 1995, the Colorado taxpayer burden will be even higher and more in line with these current costs. In 2018, Wyoming taxpayers paid more than $1.5 million for wolf management and depredation costs, while residents in Washington pay more than $1.2 million. Taxpayers are also on the hook in Idaho, Montana, and Oregon. 6. This initiative is an unfunded mandate. Proponents calling for the forced wolf introduction paid for signature gatherers to get the initiative on the ballot, yet they offer no funding to assist with management, deterrent efforts, livestock depredation, research, or other costs. Colorado taxpayers would be left to foot the bill for an action proponents pushed on them without full disclosure of financial impacts. 7. This initiative is very much driven by out-of-staters. Media reports indicate proponents generated approximately $1 million from out-of-state donors to get the proposal on the ballot. 15 members of the proponents' science advisory team are from out-of-state. The effort's lead spokesman making the rounds in Colorado is an out-of-state Montana politician, and the firm hired to oversee the signature gathering effort is from Utah. 8. Wolf populations would grow and spread throughout the state and beyond. Wherever elk live, a wolf's favorite meal, wolf packs will follow, including into Estes Park, Rocky Mountain National Park, central and southern Colorado, and beyond state lines into Utah and other surrounding states. 9. As an apex predator with no natural predator to manage or control it, a forced wolf introduction would have measurable impacts on ungulate populations, including a moose population reintroduced into Colorado as recently as the 1970s. Scientists are already struggling to figure out why elk populations in southwest Colorado are ailing, and of 64 combined elk and deer units in Colorado that are below objective, 54 of those are in western or southwestern Colorado. 10. Wolves will impact long-standing livestock operations. Individual sheep and cattle ranching families will face increased expense, stress-caused weight loss in their animals, and a danger to their dogs, horses, and other animals. Additionally, proponents are pushing theories on the public as if they're established scientific truth, when in reality, they are totally unproven. One of them claims wolves can stop or slow the speed of chronic wasting disease, or CWD. Renowned North American wolf researcher David Meach has previously stated that such claims are merely speculation. CWD is already on the landscape in both Montana and Wyoming, where wolf populations are prevalent, yet the disease continues to spread. The bottom line is a forced wolf introduction into Colorado is a bad idea.